Hello, Daily Drafters. Today is Thursday, December 9th, and thanks for joining me for today's Daily Draft. Let's hop right on in there with the immediate cue and slam Blood Vial Purveyor here in Pack 1 Pick 1. So this one, as the format's gone on, I've had a chance to play with this card a couple of times and play against it a couple of times. I don't think it's one of the insane Tier 1 bombs, but it's probably Tier 2. It's still an A- of a card. And it's a very easy pick out of this pack. I mean, if this weren't here, I'm looking at Valorous Stance, Raconteur, Diagraph Scavenger, probably. All of which I wouldn't be particularly happy taking Pack 1 Pick 1. But we're going to take the Purveyor here. And see if we can hold on to black for this draft here. Nice way to start a draft, and let's see if black stays open in our seat. I feel like a lot of the times I've tried to draft black, I haven't seen the bleed dries that are necessary to make it tick. So here in the second pack, only black cards Mind Leech Ghoul. We can't take that. It's too much of a power level hit to take Mind Leech Ghoul over a card like even Lantern Bearer, but I think Imprisonment and Ballista Watcher are better than Lantern Bearer. Lantern Bearer and Imprisonment being pretty close. I'm going to take the best card in the pack, which is Ballista Watcher here. Ballista Watcher stands on its own as a card that doesn't even need to really be in Werewolves to be good. It's just a good card. We're not necessarily locked into red-black by doing this. But these are just the two best cards in the pack that I'm not willing to pass up on here early in a draft. Okay, so pack 3 here. Very underwhelming. We whiffed on the rare that people are passing us. Screaming Swarm, probably the best card in the pack. There's a Celebrant or a Gargantua to kind of go along with red or black here. I'm not particularly happy with either of them, especially this early. I think I'm willing to take Screaming Swarm as the best card in the pack again because I feel like if we want a copy or two of these cards, we can get them. Screaming Swarm is a copy of a card that we may not be able to get if we do want to end up going down the blue route. So let's take Screaming Swarm and see what happens here. Okay, so couple of white signals. We've got a cavalry and a fierce retribution. There's a steelclad spirit. There's a pointed discussion or an undying malice. I hate to branch into a fourth color here, but I think fierce retribution is the best card in the pack. Maybe we can consider pointed discussion if we don't want to branch into a fourth color, but I'm waiting to see some sort of signal. And the pointed discussion doesn't indicate a signal to me here. So I think I'm going to take Fierce Retribution as just the best card in the pack. And hopefully something comes our way. So there's another Fierce Retribution, which is good. Goes well in like a black-white kind of control-y matchup. There's a Desperate Farmer, which is okay. Graph Reaver's not where you want to be. There's a Knife, a Vampire's Kiss. I think we're going to go ahead and take the Fierce Retribution again as the best card in the pack. And black has 100% dried up on us here. So that's a little awkward. There's no blue. There's no black. The red is fine. In fact, I think Blood Hypnotist is the best card in the pack, but it kind of wants to be paired with black. Having double Fierce Retribution in a red-white deck isn't really where you want to be, but we're just going to continue to take the best card in the pack here until we see some sort of signal. So there is a Gluttonous Guest. I think I'd like to go down that route. We'll go ahead and take the Gluttonous Guest here to go with our Purveyor. Again, this is the card we're most interested in playing in our pile. And when we see a decent / plus level black card like Guest, we'll go ahead and take that. Another underwhelming pack. I think we're just going to take the Ceremonial Knife here. Yeah, no reason to get into green. All the other cards here are just underwhelming. We'll take the Ceremonial Knife. So, Sigardian Paladin. Not really a card that we want to pull us into green-white necessarily, because we don't have any green-white cards, Fierce Retribution being the only white card, but it doesn't go well in an aggressive deck. So I think we'll take pointed discussion to go with our black cards here and see if we can lean black. Okay, so decent pickup in Kessig Flame Breather. If we go black-red, we could build a little bit more of a spell-based control-y kind of style with some Flame Breathers here. We'll take Chill of the Grave, passing up on all of this green here. We can go black. I'm not a big fan of either of these cards necessarily, but let's go ahead and take Undying Malice if we do go down a little bit more of a black-red spells kind of route here. Bit of a messy pack one. But again, it seems like some of these packs that we've opened lately have just been very underpowered. We haven't seen many signals to lead us down any directions because the cards in the pack are all just pretty mediocre to bad. So there's no reason to get into any certain colors for any of these cards. So let's hope pack 2 clarifies things for us a little bit. Edgar Charmed Groom might do just that. This card is pretty crazy. It basically never dies. I think we're going to go ahead and take it here. And we can lean black-white. We do have a Watcher, Hypnotist, Flame Breather. Wouldn't mind a Bolt here, but I don't think we can pass up on Charmed Groom. Even if we go black-red, we can look to splash this card. It's just too good. That's a pretty good card, but that's not really for us. In black, it's just Mind Leech Ghoul again. See, this is what I'm talking about, the underwhelming packs, right? They took a common out of this pack, and it may have been a black common. It may have been something like Bleed Dry, but this is the only black card. I think we're going to go ahead and take Alluring Suitor. It's between Alluring Suitor and a Braid for me. I think, you know what? Because I think if we go black-red splashing Edgar, I think we're leaning down a little bit more of a spells kind of control route with our black-red deck. I think Alluring Suitor is a better card than a Braid. But it's a more aggressive card, and I don't know if we're leaning to be more aggressive with the style of black-red deck that we currently have. Here we go again with the underwhelming packs. I think we can just take a Gargantua here and not really be happy about it. We'd like to go black, so we'll take the black card. Another Flame Breather, okay. So this is where we can lean towards a little bit of the red-based spells kind of thing. Black-red, Blood Tithe Harvester. Would love to wield this Flame Breather, but I don't think it's going to come around. There's a lot of good cards in this pack, though. Although Into the Night and Crushing Canopy are probably the two that are going to come back to us with 2 cards left. We'll take Blood Tithe Harvester here. And I think we are going to go ahead and look for a way to splash Edgar. So Evolving Wilds is going to go very high up into our pick order. Blood Fountain's another great pickup here because if we have cards like Blood Vial Purveyor and Harvester that go to the graveyard, we want Fountain to get them back. Again, goes well with our Flame Breathers, and then it's a non-creature spell here. We have 9 creatures already, which is fine. Desperate Farmer wouldn't be an awful pickup either, but let's go ahead and take the Blood Fountain. So there's a Honeymoon Hearse, a Phalanx, a Belligerent Guest, a Wedding Invitation. I think we'll go ahead and take the Guest, but we're not too super thrilled about it here. None of these cards matter for us. We'll take a Wedding Invitation. If we end up with a lot of Vampires, Wedding Invitation can do a little bit of work. So if we're thinking black-red, I don't think these Fierce Retributions are going to get in there unless we can get a ton of fixing, which right now we have literal 0 of. So maybe we can think about it, but it depends if we can find the Evolving Wilds that we need. Lacerate Flesh, not a bad pickup. Not the greatest of cards, but it's removal. So we've got a Runebound Wolf, a Blood Servitor. This isn't doing anything in our deck. I'll take the Blood Servitor. I'm not really looking to play it, though. Not looking to play any of these cards, but I'll take Bloody Betrayal. So pick 13 is where we're hoping we can find another Kessig Flame Breather here if it wheels, but again, there were some junky cards on that pack, so I'm not sure we'll be that lucky. These weren't the two I expected to come back, but the Flame Breather is not among them, unfortunately. And alright, on to pack 3 here. I love to see another Abrade. We are leaning a little bit more in the spells control-ish kind of direction here. Wouldn't mind playing a few Angers if we can find them. Bloodcrazed Socialite is another card I wouldn't mind playing. With a single Gluttonous Guest, Courier Bat's not bad either, but definitely going to go ahead and take a Braid here. There's a Voldaren Estate. I think that's maybe a C plus level card. How many vampires do we have? We have 6 vampires already, but I'm going to go ahead and just take the good removal spell here. There is a Flame Breather. There's also Edgar's Awakening, Innocent Traveler, Undying Malice. Because we have a Blood Fountain, I don't think we're super in the market for an Edgar's Awakening effect. I'm going to go ahead and take the Flame Breather. Right now we have 9 triggers for 3 Flame Breathers, which I think is a good win con for our deck. So here we have a second Blood Fountain. I don't think we necessarily need 2. I'll take the first Grisly Ritual here. Still looking for that Evolving Wilds. Good news is we are in black-red, so Blood Fountains can, or Blood Tokens can go a long way in helping us find our splash if we do try to still splash this without a Wilds. Oh, of course. The Wilds is in the pack with an Honored Heirloom and an Abrade. Gonna take the Abrade here. And the reason being is because there's an Honored Heirloom in this pack, which I think will come back to us. And I'm not above splashing a Charmed Groom over an Honored Heirloom and a Plains or 2. Would absolutely love this Wilds, but it's very, very difficult to pass up on a really good removal spell in this format. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Abrade, followed by a Flame Blessed Bolt. Seems like a very great pickup for our deck here. And we are at 23 cards. So we can start making cuts from here. Yeah, only other card we could play is Blood Servitor, Wedding Invitation, or Bloody Betrayal. And I don't think we'd want any of those here. Good black, we'll take the Bloodcrazed Socialite. That'll definitely do some work in this deck. We have 2 more picks to see another Evolving Wilds, except for the one we already passed. So let's hope we can get one of the next 2 picks here. There's a Knife. I'm happy to see my first Diagraph Scavenger. Let's take a look at the curve. It looks pretty good here for a Scavenger. So we'll take the Scavenger. Don't need a second Blood Fountain. Not the deck for Sure Strike. We already have a Knife. So we'll take very good black common here. And we did not find the Wilds. We do have Aim for the Head. There's also Sanguine Statuette. And with the amount of blood that this kind of black or red deck is going to be making, I think I'm fine taking a copy of the Sanguine Statuette here. None of these cards do it. So if we don't get back the Wilds or the Honored Heirloom, I don't think we can splash Edgar. If we get back one of those cards, I think we can attempt to do so. It's that good. In absolute worst case, we can pitch this to a Blood Token if we just cannot, for the life of us, find our Plains in the deck. So, let's go ahead and take Undying Malice. Don't know if we'll play 2. We might. But not sure about that. I think the next pack here is the one with the Wilds and the Honored Heirloom. So let's cross our fingers. And there's the Honored Heirloom. So we did get that back. I think that means we can go ahead and attempt to splash Edgar off of Heirloom and 2 planes here. So I don't think we need the knife because of how much blood this deck is basically already making on its own. We have 13 creatures. So here we are at deck building. We can definitely cut a planes and add probably that, but we'll take a look. We need to cut 3 more cards here. So if we take a look at our non-creatures, we have double Point of Discussion, double Undying Malice. I don't think we need 2. We might be able to play 1. Undying Malice is a good combo with Blood Tithe Harvester, Diagraph Scavenger, Bloodveil Purveyor. I don't know how it works with Edgar. Not exactly sure about that one. Rot-Tide Gargantua, what are we sacrificing? We're only sacrificing good creatures, so I don't think this really fits into the deck. And I think we're good with all those 4s. Maybe something like the Hypnotist or the Guest, probably for the last cut, which leaves us, if we cut one of those, we're down to 11 creatures. But again, we're looking to be a little bit more control-y here. We do have a double Point of Discussion. We could think about cutting one of those. These are just 3 drops. This one can't block, though. And we're not looking to be super aggressive, so I think I'm going to go ahead and cut that card. And probably have it look like this here. Yep, I think this looks like it'll be a good way to run it back. So before we get into round 1, go ahead and click that subscribe button for me. It'd be greatly appreciated. I hope you like the content I've been putting out. We have a ton of drafts under the belt already, and guess what? We have a ton more to go. Let me know if you want to see anything in particular with the channel. I'd love comments. I would go ahead and read every single one of those comments that you leave. And subscriptions greatly help out the channel, and I really hope that we can continue the daily draft tradition here going forward. So let's go ahead and get back in there to round 1. Alright, we go first. I'll go ahead and keep this. Not sure exactly which 2-drop to play. I think we can do Blood Tithe Harvester here. So that next turn when we play this, we could play this and crack a blood token, get in for 6. Yeah, so let's go ahead and play the Statuette. I think I'm fine getting rid of a land here because we still have many plays even if we don't. So we can get in there for 6 here. Take action. Ah, they have Fierce Retribution. See which one they want to kill. Okay. Alright. Double Flame Breather here. Or single Socialite. Let's get on the board with the Socialite and see where that goes. They're just going to imprison it right away. Missed their land drop at least. So we have Edgar but can't cast it. Okay, so We can pitch Edgar to get in for 3 more, or we could just play double Flame Breather, hold down the board. They don't have good blocks anymore. And we'll just let that play out like it may. Okay, now they do have good attacks, but we do have a Gluttonous Guest. So let's play Gluttonous Guest here. Rate of Blood, no attacks. Okay, so they're looking to be very aggressive here. We have a lot of Abrades in the deck, which deals with their deck very nicely. I don't think I'm willing to pitch either of these, at least not yet, for basically that reason right there. Yeah, let's go ahead and get Edgar down. No attacks. Hopefully not another imprisonment. Alright. Okay, so they're just looking to beat down here. That's a really good draw for us. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Point of discussion. See what we can find. Another Flame Breather. Let's play that. Gonna hold this land. I know we could hold up Flame Blast Bolt, but I think we're in the position where we don't really need to right now. That can be a bolt target because that can fly over. So let's pitch one of these lands here. I don't think we need the statuette to become a creature. We'll pitch another one. We'll pitch another one. We'll pitch another one. Okay. I think we'll just go ahead and do this now. Probably need to get rid of the cavalry, because it is the flyer on the board here. And I think we'll keep this because we can start making more blood tokens with that. So we're going to ride the back of these Flame Breathers to victory here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Point of discussion. We now have double Abrade. Let's go ahead and do that now. What do we want to kill? Probably the Visionary. Yeah, I think we can kill the Visionary here. Gives them extra value and they can have a 4/3 here next turn. I think I can play the Swamp, so next turn we can have up Grisly Ritual, but we can also play a Braid, get rid of something, play another cheap spell to win. So I'd like that line a little bit better. So we don't need to kill the infantry, so they can get something back. And I don't think I want to try to bounce the infantry, because again, these Flame Breathers are what we're riding to victory here. They want to use a combat trick to get rid of one of these. That's not the end of the world. These are important creatures right now. So let's do this. Oh, I have a bolt. So that's a bit awkward, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and use a Braid here. Getting rid of this. And they just pack it in. Okay. So our red-based spells strategy paid off there. Alright, here in round 2 we have a Flame Breather into Guest, so I think we'll keep it, hoping we draw one of our white sources, otherwise it's almost like mulliganed if we don't draw it. Okay, that's an awkward card to see. Alright, okay. Oh, thank God that happened. We need to get Diagraph Scavenger down stat. So we cannot let this die. So we need to play Scavenger next turn and really hope they don't have a way to return that right now. Looks like they don't, so that's good. And here comes Scavenger. Dodged a bullet there. Double Ancient Lumber Knots. Right now they have a 2/2 and a 4/4. Are we willing to trade? We probably... Actually, I don't think we are, because we can Lacerate Flesh the Lumber Knot next turn, and this goes back to being a 1/4 that we don't care about, so no blocks. So let's do that. So the Butler can get one of these back here. I think that's just going to happen. So we can do this, and if they chump, they get one of these back, they play it. Next turn we trade, and then use Blood Fountain and get that back. So yeah, let's get in there with the Guest. It makes a blood token, whether they block or not. Looks like they will. They'll get that Ancient Lumber Knot back, very likely. There it comes. I think we can trade. Okay, so they found their splash, but they're going to play that anyway. Sure. So we can pitch Edgar to the blood token and get it back with Blood Fountain here. So let's plan on doing that. Pointed discussion. Okay, so let's Blood Fountain. I think we can point a discussion now. If we held up a Braid, we'd 2-for-1 ourselves to get rid of the Lumber Knot. We're probably just going to have to take 4. So let's point a discussion here. Draw a couple lands. I think we can play it because at some point we're going to need to use this and get some creatures back and play them in the same turn. Probably going to need to play Harvester next turn so that it can threaten the trade with something at some point. And then we can get back Edgar plus Harvester. Harvester's a really good combo with Blood Fountain, so we can be able to get that back. We might have to take 8 in the process, though, which is not great. This isn't a wolf, so that's good. We can just double block here. They may not want to attack. Yeah, we have a good double block. Play Flame Breather. Let's Play Harvester and we'll hold up a Braid. Yikes. Okay. Resolved. Can't do anything about it. So they'll gain 4 life. That'll get a counter. I think we're just going to go ahead and kill that now. Because it's the only target we have. We can be mana efficient. They only gain 1 life instead of more. So we'll let that happen. And then here, they do want to attack. Are we willing to trade Flame Breather? Yeah, so let's let this happen here. And the next turn we can use Harvester on Hunter. Of which we will do. So they get -6/-6 here. So let's do that. Then we're going to go ahead and return. Do we even return Edgar is the thing? Because we can't cast him. We know we return this. I don't think we do return Edgar, because we can't really even cast it. So let's play the Harvester here. And get in. So we have another onboard removal spell. They get rid of it. Another Braid is a good draw, so let's get Scavenger down. Sure. Probably Flourishing Hunter. And then we'll go ahead and get in there. We'll hold up a Braid. Just quite out of reach. We'll pass, go to our turn. Another point of discussion. I think we can use that now. And there's the Purveyor. Do we just play it? I think we do. Let's first go to combat and attack here. And let's see if they have an answer. They'll have to draw it right now, pretty much. Wedding Security will not do it for them. So get rid of one of these blood tokens. Should have played the guest before we did that to gain an extra life, but let's go ahead and attack. And that should do it with a Braid on the stack here. And there we go. All right, on to round 3. We're on the draw. 2-drop, 3-drop removal spell. Easy keep. We could have Braid that if we needed to, but I'm not sure we necessarily need to. Great target for Bolt here. We'll play our 2-drop. Let's just play our guest to make sure we can get on the board. So we can't block. Suppose we could have double blocked there, but we'll go ahead and get in. I think we're going to plan to abrade the Spore Crawler here. Hopefully they don't have a trick to save it. They do not. They do get to draw a card, but we got rid of their creature on board. See what their follow-up is. Spider, okay. And then equip. That's fine. There's Edgar, although we are missing the land to cast him. That has been a bit of an issue in this deck so far. Thirst, good card. Binding Geist, Cobbled Lancer, okay, those are pretty good pitches there. Go ahead and draw 2. Another Flame Breather is good news. So we'll play 1, we'll play the Swamp. And then we have 6 lands, and that's the most we need for the rest of the game here. Okay. Alright. So let's pitch this mountain. Draw another one, and another one. I think we need to use Grizzly Ritual right now, so we'll use it on the Spider. That may have been incorrect now that I think about it, because they can equip the knife on the Spore Crawler now. And have a good attack on us. I'm going to keep both lands, though, because we have 2 blood tokens now. Okay. We can triple block, and theoretically it only trades for one of our creatures, if assuming they don't have a trick, but if they do, it's not great for us. I'm willing to give it one more turn here, because we are going to theoretically place something else to the board with all the blood tokens we have. Okay. So let's get rid of the swamp here. Ballista Watcher. Okay, so this makes me want to play this mountain so we can play Ballista Watcher and hold up a braid here. So let's do that. And do we just do it now on the Spore Crawler? No, because that'll allow them to re-equip the knife. This doesn't seem like a deck that's willing to play many tricks on their side of the board. So let's see what they attack with. They will attack with the Spore Crawler, and we will attempt to abrade it here. Yikes. Brambleworm. Okay. Another Flame Breather. I think we're at the point where we have to pitch this Edgar. Hope we don't draw the planes. That's a decent draw, except for the fact that we don't have any blood. So we'll play out our hand, I suppose. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to deal with this Brambleworm here. We might just have to block with basically all our creatures. So if we block like this, they can kill two. They can kill this one and this one, but it dies. If we block with everything, they could kill this, this, and this, but we assure it dies. If we block with all these, it can only kill two of them. Can only kill two Flame Breathers here. If we block like this, we can deal 6 to it. And it can kill this and this. Yeah, again, they haven't represented a combat trick yet, and I'm gonna really hope they don't have one here. So let's hope this works. Damn, okay, so they did have it. So now we get like 3 for 1. Well, they still have a Brambleworm out, so looks like we did need to use an extra Flame Breather to block there, unfortunately. And now we're in a pretty bad spot. So we'll go ahead and play out both of these here. This allows the Harvester to kill an X4, but we need it to kill the Brambleworm. So we will pass. Okay, so we no longer have good blocks unless we use the Harvester to block. Man, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we would take 11. We're basically hoping we draw into a blood token to let this kill that. We used a pointed discussion. We have, the other one is dead if we go down to 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to block with all of our creatures on the Brambleworm here. Yeah, I don't like doing this, but here we are. Okay, so even if we kill this, we aren't quite dead on board. That might mean we are. Yeah, I think we're dead on board now no matter what we draw. Well, it's something. Let's see what we can do about that. So we can use Harvester to kill Assistant. But this has Trample. Yeah, we need to have it back to block. Their spirit technically can't attack, so there is that. Okay, so if we bounce this, if we trade this, if we trade this block here, we would take 2 from this, and we go to 2. We have to double block this, unfortunately, and there's no combination of creatures that can kill it without putting this Death Toucher on it, so this Death Toucher has to go on this. What do we want to survive? A Socialite or a Flame Breather? Yeah, I think we have to do it like this. So at least we're not dead, but we're not in a great spot here. So that's lethal next turn. That won't do it. We gotta get rid of that. That certainly won't do it either. And even if we kill this, yeah, like even if we last rate flash that, they just put it on top of something else and kill us with it. So let's just do that and concede here. Yeah, big old fat brambleworm kind of got us there. Alright, they are first. We have Double Abrade and Harvester. If we can kind of find a couple lands here to get Purveyor going, that'd be great. And we did do that, so let's make sure we can get Harvester down here. Next turn, what we can do is we can do Undying Malice on top of Harvester, kill their Ridge Wolf, and get the Harvester back. But if they leave mana up, that's not something I'm interested in doing. Yeah, no blocks here. So let's do that. Let's do Undying Malice. Targeting the Harvester. Then we will kill their Ridge Wolf and then have it return. And we can still abrade their Ancestor. And the next turn we can just drop Purveyor and hope it survives. It's kind of the name of the game with discard. Drop it, hope it survives. Because if it doesn't, they get a blood token, which is not great. Another good target for Abrade here. We could also just trade this for that. At this point, it's just a 3/3. So do I even care about it? Not really, because next turn we can Abrade it if we need to. So let's go ahead and do that. Cross your fingers. So Guard's Imprisonment would be awful for us, because that means every spell they cast, they get a blood token for as long as that sits on the battlefield, which is not good news. But, let's see what they have here. I feel like if they had something to remove the Purveyor, they would have already done it. Oh, come on. There it is. They have lifelink. We're not going to trade because we have a braid here. So let's play our mountain. I think we just need to get rid of this now. I know it's not the most mana efficient thing, but they do have lifelink. So let's go ahead and get in there. We do have 2 blood tokens here to get rid of a swamp. They have a Ridge Wolf. So here, yeah, they're going to get rid of our Harvester. Can't do anything about that. And I think we'll go ahead and dump the swamp. And we'll probably need to dump that mountain too. Okay, so let's play the Socialite, and then we might have to play this mountain to hold up a braid here. I think we will do that. That's not great on a board with no creatures, but if they keep drawing creatures, it's not good news for us. Because it is good on a board with creatures. Surprise, surprise. Alright, let's get rid of this. Okay, not a bad draw, assuming they play any X4. We're going to keep that for the amount of blood tokens that we can create here. Blood Fountain wouldn't be a bad draw. We can get back our Purveyor. Okay, so they're going to Lantern Flare, and now it's just a top deck war. Hopefully they don't draw an X4 or above. If they draw a 4 toughness creature, this won't kill it because of Dormant Grove. But even an X3 would help us out. Okay, so we draw a Guess, which is good. So we can get rid of this swamp now. And draw another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lands so far. There's the Blood Fountain. Okay, so we'll definitely play the Blood Fountain. I think we might need to play this land now to ensure we can... Yes, if we play the land, we have 6, and then we can play the Purveyor. We can play the Harvester post-combat, and then Purveyor next turn. Let's play the land. 2, 3, 4. Crack this. Getting back Harvester and Blood Vial Purveyor. We'll go ahead and play Harvester. Unfortunate for them. we will go to combat here. And again, hope this survives. What a top deck. Okay. Resolves. Oh no. Come on. Okay. Now we're really in the hole. Let's play our Flame Breather. Lacerate Flesh doesn't do anything. Well, what it does do is it lets us get rid of at least Child of the Pack here. So we can Lacerate Flesh and then Blood Tithe Harvester away the rest of it. So this is, I think, something we need to do. Now we do have a block with Gluttonous Guest at the very least, although they're getting a blood token every time they cast a spell, so... I mentioned the first time that this was the worst card they could have had for us, and then they found it on the second time. So they're never going to play another land the rest of the game here. Ballista Watcher's a good draw. We will definitely play that. Don't think we need the Honored Heirloom anymore. We could probably just get rid of that. So the Minister was a good draw for them because that opens up attacks with their Grove Strider. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because we have a Ballista Watcher, I think I might consider playing this land, because if next turn if we top deck a land, we can start poking them in the face for 3 a turn, as long as they don't draw removal for the Watcher here. I think I'm fine doing that. Yeah, I think they're probably just going to try to dig for an answer, or a big flyer would work too. So that's bad news. So we're taking 5 a turn now, unless we chump. So if we draw a land, we can kill the Quartermaster with the Watcher on the backside. Yep, we don't have any blocks. I think we need to cast this now if we ever want to get any value off of it. So let's play Scavenger here. Let's go ahead and get rid of Child of the Pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we need to play this again because Ballista Watcher, the magic number is 9 to get rid of the Quartermaster. But let's hold it till next turn, because if they kill our Ballista Watcher with something, then we'd rather pitch this to a blood token. One more land? Nope. Their own Ballista Watcher. That's bad. Okay. So we have to kill the quartermaster. Interesting. So we can use this on their Ballista Watcher. We would be taking 4 next turn, but then theoretically the next turn we can kill it. Oh, that's risky, but if we use it on this and they flip their Ballista Watcher, then they can start going to town on our board, which we don't want. So I think we need to kill their Ballista Watcher here. We're going to play our land again because we need the Watcher. Hopefully they have 2 lands on top of their deck. Oh, they're getting rid of a spell. Okay. Resolves. We can poke that with the Ballista Watcher. Sure. Okay, so we have to flip this and kill this. That's our only option here. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 mana, which is the perfect amount to do that. So we'll pass the turn. Are they playing with full control on? I don't know what kind of... what they would be getting here. See what they draw. Olivia's Attendance, that's certainly a good one. Point of discussion going to 1. Can we do that? I guess we can. Otherwise, we're never going to be able to use it. We don't want to flip our wielder. So let's go to 1. That was a bit awkward. Let's go to 0 and die. Okay, so survived that by the skin of our teeth. Forgot about that ability there. So we just need to sacrifice all 3 of these blood tokens. That's all we can do. Because they're going to deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They can deal 3 damage to us. So yeah, we have to sacrifice all 3 of these blood tokens. So we need 3 mana. So we still have enough to play Flame Breather at the very least. Because then we can still sacrifice all 3 of these no matter what. Although it looks like we're about to deck ourselves. So let's play Flame Breather here. I know we're going to flip the Watcher, but that's what we got to do. Okay, so pass. Okay. Now they can't do 3 to us. It's a really close game here. Resolve. Okay. They will attack. So let's go to blockers. We'll block like this and like this. We need to keep the guest around to gain life. Hopefully they don't have removal for like our Ballista Watcher or something. They do. That sucks. So we're gonna ping it down with the last one and then have it survive. And then we're gonna be down to one creature, to their menace creature. We are only 5 cards in deck. Okay. Pass to damage. Create 6 more blood tokens as if you need them. And let's activate this. See if they want to try to ping us for 1 here. They don't. Okay. Alright, my turn. Three cards in deck. They can do 1, 2, 3 damage next turn, so we have to hold up 2 blood tokens to not die. Well, we're still dead because so if we cast both of these cards, it can block with them, but then they could just ping us down. If we cast one of them, we can double chump. And let's just cast one of these here so that we don't straight up die, and then we have to pass. Okay, I think we're just dead here, so. Yep. So, notice if you're playing best of 3 and you have a Purveyor in your deck and they're playing white at all, I think you need to, because of the existence of this card, you 100% have to side this out, because they won this game because of this Blood Vial Purveyor being on the battlefield. So. Yeah, it's over. It doesn't matter. So we played our bomb twice in that game, and both times they had the answer to it on the immediate next turn. So that likely decided that one. Let's see if we can find another win here. No red. No play until turn 4. Can't even guarantee this. We can play Edgar. Gosh. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it, but it's a yikes and keep, that's for sure. So hopefully we hit a mountain. There's a mountain. Well, turn too late, but that's okay. At least we have a play. Next turn we can play Purveyor or Edgar. Either works. Probably Purveyor. Can't block anymore. Yeah, let's hope it survives. Clearly don't want to call that bluff. Wolfkin Outcast, okay. So let's play our mountain, 1, 2, 3. If we played Heirloom, we can't play another thing, so we're gonna go ahead and... None of these have reach, do they? Nope. So we'll get in there with the Purveyor. Then we can plan to trade off with Edgar here. Probably should have played that pre-combat, but hopefully that 1 damage doesn't matter too much. Digging for an answer here. Found one for Edgar. I think we have to chump here. So let's chump. Belligerent Guest. So we could play Heirloom and Guest here.
I'm busy.
So let's do that. Gives ourselves some chump blockers. I think we're riding on the back of Blood Vial Purveyor here. And it's lethal next turn unless they get rid of some blood tokens. Even if not, we can play Scavenger to do the rest of it. So we're just gonna jump to the high heavens here. This signifies massive might to me, so I'm gonna use... So if we block here and here, we could take 1, 2... Yeah, this... So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now we'd take 3, 4, 5. So what if we blocked like this? We'd take 2, right now we're taking 6, we'd take 8 from here. 8 plus 2 is 10. We gain 1. So Massive Might doesn't do it on this board. Does Double Massive Might do it? If they have Double Massive Might, I don't think there's a way we can survive this. What if they have Double Massive Might and we go like this? We take 2... Right now we're taking 3. If they have Double Massive Might, we take 2 plus 3. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Double Massive Might, if we block like this, still doesn't do it. Okay. And now we have to hope our Purveyor lives. No, they have Wolf Strike. Oh my gosh. Okay. Of course they do.
You fight for me now.
Can we survive? We can play Scavenger. getting rid of a card. We go to 10. Trade with that. Trade with that. Go down to lower, but then Edgar comes back, and we have Grizzly Ritual. Yeah, let's hope there's not another removal spell. So they're going to take 2 here. Interesting decision. It is still tapped now, though. It's a good attack on their part. I don't think we can block, because we're getting Edgar back next turn. Okay. I think we have to get rid of their 5/4. Yeah, because it becomes a 6/5 that can draw cards when it flips. So let's get rid of that. Don't have good attacks here. This can't block, so that's good news. But they do have a good attack with it. Okay, so they are going to attack with it. Do we trade Scavenger or do we trade Edgar? I think we trade Scavenger. Yeah, we'll trade the Scavenger here. Not super thrilled about it, but I'd like to keep Edgar around as long as we have 2/2 lifelinkers. And they'll play another 5/4. Okay. Statuette. Let's get rid of this first, see what we can find here. A guest. I mean, it is a creature, it does something here, so let's play it. They are at 3, but they have a bigger board than us. It's a really close one again. I'm not sure how we're going to push the last little bit of damage through here. Because even, what's it called? Blood Fountaining back, a Scavenger doesn't quite do it. Flame Breather, if we get that back somehow, that could help. So I think we definitely trade off Guest here. The Ridge Wolf attack tells me they might have a trick. I think we definitely block like that. Yuck. And then we just get absolutely owned here. Yeah, it looks like that'll do it. Yep, what a top deck there. So that pretty much just did it for us. I mean, maybe there's a world where we survive, but
Deal with this annoyance.
I'm not sure of which world that is. So let's just pass the I'll flip everything. Past the blockers, none of this probably matters here. Yeah, right now we're taking 6, but we're gaining 2, so at least we live. Yeah, that'll do it. Alright. So we just got owned by that timely wolf strike there, unfortunately. Can't tell you how many drafts we've ended up 2 and 3 here on the channel. It's almost about half. And 2 and 3 is the worst record you can get on Arena, because the difference between 250 and 1,000 is a lot more than 100 to 250 and 1,000 to 14. So here we are at another 2 and 3, but that's all right. I think I'm gonna go ahead and move Blood Vial Purveyor down in my pick order, because I think we lost a couple of games because of it. I'm not sure we won any of them, but we lost one because of it. So looks like that'll do it for today's video. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow for your daily draft.